10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. What a fight! I think Murata won it.
Juan, the Hispanic causing panic, Lascano.
Thanks to those joining me live and to those that be joining me on archive. This is D Style Boxing. I'm being joined by the one and the only George from Off the Ropes. We will be joined by Mario Munguia and Doomy in a little bit. So stay tuned. Stay here. If you're watching on archive right now, hit that like button. If you're listening live, hit that like button. Share this video on all your social media platforms. And thank you to all those listening on audio form, whether it's iHeart, Spotify, Stitcher, Audio Boom, Amazon Music, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Yo, Joey, how's it going, brother? How you doing? Oh, you're muted, brother.
Dang, I got the mute button. Monster got me. But I'm doing good, man. Good evening. I'm happy to be here. As always. Thank you for having me on.
Yo, the mute button bug out here, bro. Everybody's like everybody's like this. Like, yo, y'all.
Oh.
The craziest thing when people are like cooking and they're on mute and they don't know they're on mute, it's the greatest thing in the world, bro.
Man.
They're on camera, they're like, I'm like, whoa, you're on mute, brother. Like, and then they get off mute and they're like, oh man.
Yeah.
I would just say that it's gonna be a good fight, man. Like, their energy sapped. Like, they spent their whole energy on mute. Shout out to JC Sonteo Media, Chicano Prophet, Chen Smoke, Bruce Goes, Jazz, and more. How's it going, brother? The Don in the building. This is HCP Fire. How is it going? SSC, DJ Mexicano de Texas. Boy, do we have a show for you tonight, okay? Of course, we got Fondura Lubin, Fondura accusations out here on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Okay, by Barbershop Conversation, okay? Yes, I heard the video. Yes, I got all your texts with the link. Yes, I watched it, okay? Okay, so he did us a favor and he cut it out for us so we could watch it. You know what I mean? So there you go. Mayor defeated Hann. What is she going to do next? What's next for Ryan Garcia? Did he overwhelm? Did he go the distance on purpose to put some rounds in? Let's talk about it. Are we going too far on Lion Ryan? We're going to definitely talk about that, okay? I saw a video by Punch Circle. Everybody's going too far. They're too hard on Ryan. They're too hard on Ryan. Okay, well, we're going to find out how hard we are on Ryan Garcia, okay? Triple G unifies the middleweight titles. And is he ready for Canelo? Something else we want to talk about. So much. And, of course, fight of the year candidate. The first thing I mentioned, Fondura versus Lubin. Before we get to the good stuff, I want to wait for Mario and Doomy to come in here, okay? Before they come in, ladies first, okay? So, Michaela Mayer, all right. Well, actually, before the Mayer fight, and I want to know what you guys think. Did you get to watch the fight with Esparza and the Japanese girl?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, so look, I thought it was a good fight. I also thought it was a good performance by Marlene, who won a competitive but clear decision, in my opinion. I scored it 7-3 for Marlene. I could see 6-4. I don't know about 10-0, like one of the judges said. That was ridiculous. But I mean, the people that said that she was losing or that it was a draw, I don't know about that either. But granted, I did not like Sinisa Superbad Estrada doing the commentary. I'm a big fan of Superbad. I think she's bad. Okay, just like her nickname says, she's a hell of a fighter, and in my opinion, the best woman fighter out there. skill-wise. I'm just talking skills, right? But what you think about Marlene's performance as a fighter in the ring, winning the ring championship of that flyweight division, and what do you think of Superbad just throwing her little shots there, saying she ain't fighting smart? We know she don't got power. If I started taking shots every time Superbad was saying, she could make it easier on herself if she actually starts boxing. But then again, I don't know if she has the stamina for that. Like it's like I don't know, what do you want then? But what are your thoughts?
My thoughts, I think I agree with you. Very competitive. I mean, a decisive win for Esparza. I thought she did exceptionally well. I know the score was obviously trash. I don't even understand. It seems that we have it every weekend or every time there's a fight. There's got to at least be one or two cards where we get the scoring where it's like, what the hell are you watching? You're like, are you on your phone? Are you listening, watching the crowd? What the hell's going on with these judges, man? But Esparza, good performance. Fujioka, I think from what I understood, she was in her 40s, correct? I mean, she was a little older woman, but competitive. As far as Esparza, Superbad, I think it's just the competitive nature in all fighters, man. We even saw it too as well in the Ryan Garcia, Jojo. He threw his little shots.
He did, he did when he said, what did he say? Yeah, sparred me for him, and I wasn't that impressed. I'm like,
yeah, he was doing it, man. He was doing it, and I get it too. I get why they do it. Maybe they're both on the zone. There could be a fight later on down the road for Esparza and Sinisa. So let's see what happens, man. I mean, hey. I'm with it. I like the trash talk. I like the confidence. It was along the lines of being respectful. But
yeah,
hey.
Well, look, to the chat, I want to ask you guys: are you okay with a fighter on commentary talking trash? Maybe you like that. Maybe you're like, you know what? It's authentic. I like it. If that's how they feel, that's how they feel. Me, I personally feel I do want a fighter to be authentic. I want them to just be objective and fair when they call a fight. You know what I mean? We all get that Marlene isn't a power puncher, but maybe she could word it better. You know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying. But maybe most people are with you. Maybe they feel they're okay with it. Fujioka is 46 years old, bro.
Jeez.
That is amazing, bro. She performed better than Murata. I'm just saying, but anyway, I just throwing that out there. Rolling with the punches. How's it going, brother? Javier Avila out there as well. Shout out to you. Glad to have you guys here. A lot to talk about, man. The fight doctor in the building as well. So look, I like it. I like the performance from Marlene. I like the jab. What do you think of Sinisa Estrada, just to finish off with this one, saying, bragging about how she doesn't need a jab? And this is what she said, because Sergio's like, look, you see, she's using a jab. Maybe it's something you can do. And she's like, I don't need a jab. I have power, not like her.
Yeah, man. Again, I think the trash talking to an extent, right, could be okay. But I think once it got to that point where you said, she's bragging that she don't need a jab, then it's kind of like, all right, now you're just bragging about yourself. I mean, obviously, if you're where you are as far as being a really good boxer, of course you need a jab. Who the hell doesn't need a damn jab?
She need a jab because she's got power, bro. She's like a little Mike Tyson, she says. Pretty much.
Hey, she's got it. She, again,
I get Mike Tyson used a jab, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get the shit talking, man, but I think as long as it's, I guess, respectable, I guess it's not too bad,
Like Thomas Hearns used a jab, like Duran used a jab, De La Hoya used a jab, Trinidad used a jab. I don't know what she's talking about. I have power, therefore I don't need a jab.
Hey, Frazier, like Lee Groves just said, great jab. I think one of the best jabs out there, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. But we already got somebody saying Fondura's gloves are loaded. Oh, we're going to talk about that one, guy. We're going to talk about that for sure. I just want to make sure we got at least one other guy on here, either Doomy or Mario. Some unexpected things happen, but I wanted to go on at the time. So it is what it is. Boxing Magic in the building. How's it going? So there's no such thing as I don't need a jab. Maybe you haven't needed it yet. Okay. Ignacio Juarez saying, I want to move on from women's boxing. Not yet. We're almost there. But Mayer, okay, to the top against Hann, bloodied her up, beat her up a little bit. Hann was just good enough to survive every round, to her credit. Like she found a way to slip away from the grasp. And in the end, she said, you know what? Mayer did. That's why I want 3 minutes, because if I had 3 minutes, I could finish a lot of these girls. You know what I mean? I like to break them down. I could use my boxing, break them down. I'm an advocate for it. What do you think? What did you think of the fight? But what do you think about her statement saying she wants 3 minutes?
That's awesome. I mean, I'm with it. I love Michaela Myers' style. You know, she's in there, hooks, jabs, right? Jabs, body shots. Yeah, you give her an extra minute, you know, in these 10-round fights, who knows? You may get a stoppage. Her performance overall, it's what I expected. You know, Katie Taylor beat Hann as well. I know there's big things for Michaela Meyer. I'm a big fan of Meyer. I absolutely like Meyer's style of fighting. I like that, you know, like that slugger boxer, but it wasn't ugly. It wasn't like unorthodox. She's in there, you know, bobbing and weaving body shots. It's all good styles for her. I love it. But yeah, let's see. I think everybody's been asking for it, right? Everybody's been asking for the women's boxing for 3 minutes. And they've been asking for it themselves. So why not, man? Why not 3 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, there's some that aren't, like, it's like weird, but I think a lot of the new breed are the new blood. Okay, the ones coming in, they want more rounds, they want 3 minutes. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I mean, if she wants 3 minutes and Serrano beats Tater, right? Serrano was saying she wanted 3 minutes, right? So hey, because that's another thing she said. Okay, let me tell you guys what I think. First of all, yes, Bumgarner's still there, and Choi is still there. I believe they're going to be fighting each other. But at 130 right now, I think Michaela Mayer is the best at 130 pounds in the women's rankings. You know what I mean? She still has to prove it. She still has to, you know, fight the right people to fight. But I'm telling you right now, man, the last 2 fights have been really impressed with her inside game. Okay, and showing more grit. Like she's really trying to go for the finish more now than before. You know, so her coach gave her, I think, a B+ or something like that. But you know, Hann is difficult to take out. Like Katie Taylor couldn't take her out. You know what I mean? So I don't want to judge her too much based off of that. But speaking of Katie Taylor and Serrano, speaking of 12 rounds, right? 3 minutes, right? Serrano said that's what she wants to do, and so if she beats Katie Taylor, it sounds like Michaela Mayer's willing to move up and fight her. So why not? They could do it 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds, you know. But whether they do that or not, I don't know. But what do you think of Michaela Mayer's chances right now against the winner of Serrano and Katie Taylor? Like, I'll give you mine really quick. I don't know if she's quite ready for that. Like, I think she needs more fights, personally. Okay. I don't think she's ready for Katie Taylor. I don't think she's ready for Serrano, whoever wins that fight. If she gets the fight, great. You know what I mean? But as of right now, not in. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm not interested. You know what I mean? But it's just the way I'm feeling right now. I don't know what happened right now. I am alone now, ladies and gentlemen. What happened? All right, there we go.
There I am. Sorry.
Right. So, what do you think, man? Who do you think's going to win?
I agree with you on that, man. I definitely agree that Meyer has the potential to give these 2 girls competition. She is naturally a little bit smaller than both of them. It's kind of hard right now. I would say, realistically, I would give her Alicia Bumgarner, right? I think that's the one to make at 130. I know Bumgarner has a date this month on the 19th against Matisse if Bumgarner gets past her. So yeah, I would say, why not, man? Let's get Mayer, Bumgarner first, and then another 1 or 2 defenses, and then to 135 it is, against the whoever it be, Serrano, Taylor. I think her style will be, I guess style wise, she matches up better against Katie Taylor for me, I think. Out of the two, if I had to really choose who I think she has a better chance with, I would say that she has a better chance with Katie Taylor.
Okay. You don't think the move, because like here's my thing, right? Serrano with her previous opponent, I'm forgetting the name, but like she didn't like the movement of the opponent. She won the fight, but she was really frustrated that she wasn't coming at her as much. And like, while we have seen Michaela Mayer come in close, fight on the inside, we haven't really seen her fight on the move. You know what I mean? But she can fight on the move. And I don't know. I think Michaela's. I don't think she's ready for Serrano right now. Don't get me wrong. But out of the two, I think she'll do better against Serrano because of her movement. Like I think she would give. Like she's gonna make Serrano try to catch up. You know what I mean? She's gonna make Serrano like go after her, and I think Serrano likes girls to come fight her. You know, so it's a tough fight. I would favor Serrano either way, but right now. But I just think Michaela needs more. She needs to work a little more, man. And if she moves up to 135, how much? Like she doesn't seem to have that big snap on her punches to keep either one of them off of her. You know, that's my one concern with Michaela Mayer. You know, and I think that's the one main criticism people have of her, that she doesn't have that power to kind of keep somebody off of her. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, she does have a high work rate, right? I mean, I guess. Against Serrano, like you said, having her chase her wouldn't be bad.
Well, shit. Just saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is that for the women's ranking. Shout out to Calix Boxing, by the way. Shout out to him. Everybody subscribe to Calix Boxing. Check out the, he's doing a lot of, the up jab, little short shows he's doing. Check him out in the woods over there on Twitter as well. You know what I mean? The Blair Witch Project is real, and he's on it. He's on the case. You know what I mean? So while he's talking boxing in the woods, he's investigating the Blair Witch. You know what I'm saying? Hit my like button, by the way. Hit my like button, guys. All right? And let's go ahead and talk about Ryan Garcia, brother. Lion Ryan. All right? King Ryan. He calls himself a king. He showed up like, you know what I mean? He just it is what it is. Goes out there, he fights Tagoe. Ladies and gentlemen, Tagoe has got to go. All right? I mean, talk about I never want to see that dude fight again. And I know it's harsh to base it off that one performance, but I just don't. I don't want that dude on my TV again. You did not. I'd rather you go out there, try to make something, and if you lose, guess what? I'll still want to see you again. You know? But he didn't show me that at all in this fight. He did everything, but just all he tried to do anyway was try to survive. Okay? What'd you think of his performance, bro? Tagoe and Ryan. What do you think?
Tagoe and Ryan. Fierce King, right? Is that what his trunk said?
Fierce
King. Man, to begin with, Tagoe, he's got to go for sure. I think I kept giving him the benefit of the doubt, man. Like my brother, like, okay, is he gonna do anything? I'm like, hey, look, he's warming up a little bit. He's gonna try to get Garcia to like the mid rounds, fill his power out a little bit, because people assume that once you get past the third round with the Garcia, you have a little bit of your chances are a little bit better. And I agree, yeah. If you have somebody that's gonna fight, of course you got a little bit of a chance, but he was there to survive, man, and it's pretty true. Half and half. You can't knock somebody out that's trying to survive. But overall, I think Garcia could have done a lot. He could have done things a little bit better. Better. He could have cut the ring off a little better. It wasn't Maidas. I think Sergio Mora even mentioned that what he should have did was let him come to him a little bit. Instead of chasing him so much, create a little bit of openings. But his overall performance, man, I've been seeing all over. People are giving him like a C plus, and I give him a C plus. I didn't know what to expect, especially coming off almost a year and a half layoff. His fight coming off of Campbell, his mental issues, his hand issue, his social media issues, you name it, man. You just don't know what to expect from this guy, man. So I was disappointed. I mean, I would have loved to seen maybe a knockout. And like I told you before he came on air, I was actually watching the Fondura and this one at the same time. And I caught myself looking towards the Fondura versus Lubin and kind of forgot a little bit about the Garcia fight. It wasn't an okay performance, man. I let's see what happens. And then also at the end, he was like, look, I'm gonna be realistic. I'm gonna stop with calling out these people because realistically that might not happen. So I don't know what the change of heart is there. Maybe he's realizing he's getting all this shit from everybody, calling him the social media king or whatever the hell, Lion Ryan, as many people call him. But overall, I'll give him a C on it.
Oh, I mean, I don't want to brag. I mean, I coined him Lion Ryan. I'm just saying. But here's what I'll say. Okay, two things could be true at the same time. Okay. Like Tagoe can be an amazing. Tagoe was amazing as a track and field athlete on Saturday, right? I felt like that dude could win the 100, the 200 meters. Like I felt he can. He was doing good running laps around the ring. He was doing everything but fight, right? Just being negative, doing everything but actually fight. The name of the game, right? You know what I mean? Everything but actually do what they're there to do. Everything but that. Tagoe has got to go. All right? So now that I made that clear, I understand that Ryan was in the ring with a guy that wasn't trying to engage. Okay? I get that. But Jesus Christ. Ryan Garcia. Yes, he won every round. He won every round. Why do you criticize him? He won every round. Okay, won every round. So what if he won every round? Oh, yeah, he won every round because the other dude wasn't fighting him. Okay? That's why he won every round. He was never in any imminent danger. He hurt him a couple times, but so we can't critique? We can't give some constructive criticisms to the guy? So so him having the chin in the air is acceptable because Tagoe didn't have the balls to throw punches at him? No, that's still not acceptable. Because the last time a guy was fighting him, dropped him. And Campbell was not known as a monster puncher.
Exactly.
You know how many times I saw him lean back, like I was looking for Fat Joe. Although where the fuck's Fat Joe? Is the song on? I was watching the fight in the corner of my eye while I'm watching the better fight, Lubin Fondura, right? And I'm just watching this dude do the lean back. Like he's leaning straight back while Tagoe throws. With a few times he did throw. What are you doing? Well, why are you leaning back and doing the rockaway for? Like, dude, what are you doing? He's telegraphing everything. He's shooting everything predictably. It was easy to see that wasn't working. And the few times Tagoe did stand in front of him in the middle of the ring, Ryan was doing the shoulder roll. He was doing this. Dude, can you do something else? Can you throw a jab, hook off you might as well work on things while this dude doesn't want to fight.
Right? That would have made more sense.
But Tagoe, there you go, running all I know is this. Just because, I was more frustrated with Tagoe, but I was also frustrated with Ryan, okay? Ryan could have cut off the ring better. He could have attacked better. He could have used a jab. Dude, there's content created people saying he shouldn't use a jab. What do you know? I know that a jab works. Okay, that's what I do know. This fight was a lightweight, right?
139 catch weight.
It was a catch weight, okay.
Still 135.
So, okay, 140. Okay. Tagoe versus 140-pound De La Hoya. Does he survive?
Oh, no.
It doesn't survive. There's no but he was running, though. Okay, whatever. All right? And believe me, guys, we're going to talk about the Fondura. I'm just waiting on somebody to show up. But Ryan Garcia, right? Here's the thing with Ryan Garcia. In fact, let me shoot this to somebody here about backstage. But Ryan Garcia, Brian, I sent you something. If you want to come on, it's up to you. But I just don't think we need to go out of our way to defend Ryan Garcia like that. I think the criticisms of Ryan are fair. He could have cut off the ring better. He's being too predictable. He's still not tucking in his chin. If you don't want to take my word for it, that's what Cindy Estrada said. I think he should be tucking that chin in.
JoJo wasn't impressed.
Oh, well, I can't take JoJo's opinion seriously, but I'm just saying because he's being biased. He's a little biased, But it doesn't mean what he's saying wasn't true. That's not saying it's not true. Ryan Garcia could do better. I'm not criticizing him because I don't like the guy, or it's for his own good. He needs to hear it. Like that's what, and also wanted him to work on a jab, and then Goose. What do you think of Goose giving him an A? So I give him an A.
Wow.
Lean back. He was leaning back, bro. Like I see Guido from New York right now. Like that's what they're doing. You're like lean back. You know what I mean? That's like what I don't know what that was about. Okay, it is tough love, and it is, something that he needs to work on. And this has been a criticism, bro. Okay, like what's in the ceiling in the ring? Why is he like this? What's he looking at? Is Sting up there in the rafters or what? Why does he have a chin up in the air for? Doesn't make sense. I don't know what it is. Like old school, like get a tennis ball, make him hold it here, while he's shadow boxing something, tucking that fucking chin. He's got broad shoulders for it. He can do it. Like I don't get it, right? And he's not jabbing. No fundamentals. It is what it is, okay? It's not that he didn't get a jab. It's not that he didn't get a knockout. It's that he didn't do enough to secure the knockout. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all expected it, right? I mean, we wanted to see more from him. I definitely wanted to see more from him. He was predictable, like you said. It was the same thing. It was a check hook, right hand, check hook, right hand. He could have done so many different things. And the criticism that we're giving, and it's constructive criticism, right? It's not like us being biased towards him. I mean, he's not my favorite fighter, but I try to be unbiased to everybody. I don't try to choose favorites. I don't choose favorites, I should say. But I mean, there's so many things that I wanted to see. He's still doing the same mistakes, like you said, leaning back. He smothered himself a lot. He smothered himself a lot, man. Way too much. He smothered himself way too much.
Because you know what it is? He was so used to just everything he was doing with Tagoe was working in his first few fights, right? Somebody mentioned Berlanga, very similar to Berlanga. Like what he was doing was working. And then you know what happens? People watch film on you and they figure you out. Okay, so they're waiting for you to do those things, right? That happens. Quarterbacks start looking hot. Coaches start watching film. All of a sudden, they're having problems. Why? Because the defenses are figuring them out, right? Fighters start to figure you out at some point. Like they know that Ryan's like, I'm gonna throw my hook right now. Like yeah, that's what it is, bro. Like he's literally telling, I'm gonna throw my hook right now. Oh, but it's fast though. Like okay, it's fast, but obviously Tagoe knew when it was coming. Like so, what if it's fast? If you're not timing it right, so what? Okay. Oh, he's quick. It's quick. It's fast. Whatever. Look, he won, and I'll give him this. It's hard to fight a guy that doesn't want to fight. I get that, but Jesus Christ, can he throw a jab, bro? Because when Tagoe was in front of you, you didn't do anything. When Tagoe was in front of you, you didn't do anything. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And the thing too with levels, right? Like that next level fighter you expect, like he would have done something to get him out of there. Regardless if you wanted him to get rounds in, he could have got like 7 rounds and eventually turned it on. And then an elite level fighter, someone on that caliber that we hold high, they will get that stoppage, or they'll do something different. I get he's trying to get his rounds, whatever. But 12 rounds, come on, like against a guy that he should have possibly gotten out of there.
He said it to not come out in 3, bro.
You're right. He did say that.
I'm just saying. But these style, you can't take him literally. Like what? So I should take him literally when he pulls out of the Fortuna fight, right? He leaves Fortuna, without a payday. Jojo has to step in to save that fight, by the way. And you're depressed, and you get tatted all up, right? And then after getting tatted up and everything, right? And then you leave, right? So I need to take your word then. But when you tell me that this guy's nothing, I'm going to take him out in 3 rounds. I shouldn't take your word. I'm just saying, brother. You know what I mean? What's going on to Brian, the boxing historian? How's it going, brother?
What's good, D-Style? What's good, George?
What's up, Brian? What's going on, man?
Yeah, bro, I have to send some links out, brother, because it is what it is. You know what I mean? But hey, talk to me about first of all, Marlene. Did you see Marlene's fight?
Oh yeah, I saw her fight.
Yeah, well, why is Senisa hating on her in the middle of the fight? What's going on?
And by the way, I just got to say this as a man. Senisa Estrada got some sexy ass legs. Just gotta say it, But
she doesn't use the jab though. That's what she said. I don't use my jab.
Well, can I say can we really say it's? I know they have beef and whatnot, but I can't really say it's hatred because she was getting touched up by that woman, man, from Japan. I forget her name, but and don't get it twisted. She can box a little bit, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, Marlene looked a little bit more in shape than she did in the other fight that she was in. From her previous fight. She looked a whole lot more in shape, but her technique was very off in this fight, and I don't know if it was because the other girl was coming at her, but it just looked really, really sloppy from her end. And usually she's a boxer. She's a one that likes to throw combinations and whatnot and put her combination together. But we know that she's not a power puncher of any caliber, but I mean. She didn't really use a jab. She didn't really use much head move. Well, she did use good movement, I say, towards the end of the fight, but she still got touched up a little bit, more so than she should have against someone who's 46 years old. And she's 31 in her prime.
She did. I thought she did all right, but she just had a baby, brother. You know what I mean? We gotta have some compassion for Marlene a little bit. You know what I mean? But what did you think about? Because it's this, did it see anything from Mayer that makes you think, okay, she's ready for like Taylor or Serrano?
I mean, it's going to take more than just a jab, more than just the boxing ability to beat Katie Taylor. The volume of Kaylee Taylor, the volume and toughness of Kaylee Taylor, and the power punching and aggression of Amanda Serrano. I think that she might do well. She might. I don't know. I think she gets stopped by both of them, if you ask me. I don't think that. I think that she's solid, but she's not great. If you understand what I'm saying.
I got you.
Yeah,
she's solid. I think she needs more fights. Personally, that's my opinion. But okay, Ryan Garcia, go ahead, Cook.
Oh, Ryan Garcia. Hype job.
Tactical. I know you're a big fan of Ryan Garcia. I know you got a king right tee, don't you?
Man, I don't Ryan Garcia is nothing but he is a poor man. He is a overrated, overhyped wannabe Oscar De La Hoya.
Is he as good as De La Hoya?
Huh? He is a wannabe Oscar De La Hoya. Is he
as good as De La Hoya?
Man, he is nowhere near as good. He don't have no footwork. He can't box. He has power, and he has. I mean, he got.
He's got that.
He got a left hook. He has fast hands, and he has good power. Here's the problem, but I'm gonna tell you something. He's a 135 version of Deontay Wilder, and I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. He's an accident waiting to happen. This dude has his chin up in the air. Sometimes he has no clue of what he's doing. If he's not aggressive, he doesn't know what he's doing. If he's not aggressive and he's not pouring it on somebody, he can't put his combination together all that great like that. I mean, and he's not in his his feet are stuck in quicksand, and he hasn't. And for a guy his height, he does not know how to jab. Tagoe is a regional fighter at best. He's not even all that good, and he was obviously overmatched. And you let this man,
bro, like you know what? Some people were saying they were telling me he was tough. But they kept telling me, oh, he's a tough dude.
Well, there's a lot of tough guys. And well, wait a second. How tough is he really if he's running? I mean, Eris Lubin's tough. Eris Lubin's is a true contender.
He's a tough dude. He's tough, bro. That's what people kept telling me. Like nobody wanted to do a bet, but they kept telling me he was tough.
Man, Tagoe is a D+ level fighter, man. Let's just keep it a buck.
Are you saying that Tagoe has got to go?
Tagoe should have went in the 6th round. He should have. If this your comeback fight, I mean, you better make a statement, especially all the shit he's been talking about. Tank Davis, everyone else at 135, and this is your best. Luke Campbell's his best opponent, right? Mm-hmm. And this is your second best opponent to Tagoe. All right.
No, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I want you guys' thoughts on this tweet. He tweeted out, I never been 12 rounds, and I'm super sore, even though he misspelled sore. That's normal, I assume. Ha ha. I can't imagine an all-out war. Oh, my God, like Home Alone. Oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, so is it possible? And I saw a lot of people saying this, you know what I mean? Shout out to Boxing Dev and Not That by Kenny, by the way. HLD in the building and Chicano Prophet, you know, saying, I don't know about hype job. No one is talking him, really favoring him to beat other major 135 pounders. Okay. I gotcha. But what do you guys think about this tweet, though? He's never been 12 rounds. So some people are saying, you know what? He was trying to get rounds in. What do you think, George?
Man, I'm not on mute. Cool. All right. Shit. I mean, come on now. Imagine an all-out war. I mean,
woo!
If you let's just put him against Cruz. That's a general, man. If he thinks he's sore now, imagine he fights somebody the likes of Pitbull Cruz. I'll just leave it at that. You know, I mean, Cruz is gonna be in his face all day. He tucks his chin really well. Nice guard. You know, come on now. All out. I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I try not to be biased on Ryan Garcia, and I've always been critical. Me and Julian always go back, man. But I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I just don't see it.
So maybe he means soar, like soar in the skies. You know what I mean? Like an eagle. You know what I mean? Maybe he's soaring or some shit. What do you think about this tweet? Because this is the fighter now, Brian. They tweet out like, 12 rounds. I never done it before. Like, he's tweeting about this like the way I tweet about like, hey, everybody, what's up? Like in the morning or some shit. You know what I mean? Or I'm done with work or some shit, right? He's like, yo, I just went 12 rounds, man. I just went 12 rounds, man. You know, I'm super sore. You know, I think that's normal. Ha, ha, ha. I can imagine an all-out war. You know what I'm talking about?
Man, this is the reason why. Shit like this.
Can I have my rollerblades? Can I have my rollerblades go down? You know, sidewalk right now. Yeah, I'm in the wind, baby. Like, what do you think?
I think this is the exact reason why.
Can I have my surfboard? I want my surfboard right now.
Man, look, this is the reason why it's hard for me to like. I mean, look, I'm not denying the kid's talent, man. At all. I mean, he has the talent, but this is the shit like this is the reason why it's hard for me to root for the kid, man. Like, see, you run your mouth on social media. I mean, look, credit to him that he built up his little fan base, and that's all well and good. But you're gonna sit up here and boast yourself, like you're the next best thing at 135, and then you're pretty much downplaying the fact that you went 12 rounds with a guy who had no business surviving 6. Even 7 rounds, you understand? And you're sitting up here saying, "Oh, I've never been to 12 rounds, and I'm super sore. That's normal, I assume." Ha. I can imagine all. So basically, you're admitting that you don't want that smoke. That's what that means to me. Because guess what? You must not be ready for Haney, Kambosos, Tank Davis, pretty much everybody from the top 10. You know, everybody that's upper echelon in the top 10, you don't want to smoke with them because all those guys been through 12-round fights. You know, maybe Jojo Diaz, maybe Isaac Cruz, maybe I don't know.
Check this out. Look at this. He enters Rome like a conquering hero. But what has he conquered? You know, I'm just saying. No, I get it. Look, I get it. I know he's had a layoff. Look, this was a voluntary layoff, guys. Ryan Garcia was not recovering from a broken leg or ankle. He didn't have a broken hand. He didn't even have a broken heart. From what I know, he's still with his girl, although he has a lot of baby mamas, in fairness. Okay? So in fairness, he does, and I imagine that should be very stressful, actually, all jokes aside. But, you know, like the dude walks out, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, look at me. Yeah, I own this place. And here's the thing. Like, everybody wants everybody to be easy on Ryan, but, like, Ryan talks the most shit when other fighters fight.
Yeah.
He talks the most shit. Like, I'm just saying, right? And to be honest, I'm not talking shit about him. I'm just saying, you know, I just thought he should. I believe he's talented enough to knock out Tagoe. I do.
And you're not the only one with that opinion, right? I mean, there's many of us out there that feel the same way.
Ryan. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Hey, guys, so that's the Ryan Garcia fight. Those are those cards. You know, we're definitely going to touch on, you know, barbershop conversation. Started a little rumor out there that Fondura is cheating, and like so we're going to touch on that. We are so stay tuned.
Oh man.
So stay tuned to that. There's another panelist I want to message you to let them know that we're good to go. But check it out. Triple G goes out to Japan. He knocks out Murata, right, in the 9th round. Those early rounds were looking a little tough for Triple G. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. And what I felt Murata was gonna put it on him early, and I felt however Triple G responded was gonna tell the rest of the story, and it kind of did. Knocked him out of the 9th. He unifies at age 40, only the second fighter, the other one being Bernard Hopkins, to do that. Hopkins did it at age like 48 or 49, crazy. But Murata goes out there, gets knocked out. Triple G is unified. What do you think, George? Were you impressed?
Yeah, man, I would say I'm pretty impressed. You know, 40 years old, pretty much a 2-year layoff. I think most of us agree that's how it was going to go. Like the first few rounds was going to be a little shaky to see exactly where Triple G was going to be at. He got tagged a few times to the body. I think it was Mannix and the other guy mentioned, you know, that he got hit to the body by Deverchenko, and that kind of hurt him. And you see it here in this one, the Murata, he took a couple body shots and it was looking iffy for me, man. I was a little worried. I was going to say, you know, if Murata could just step it up just a little bit, he could possibly get him out of there. But like they say, and when a fighter ages, the last thing to go is his power. So I'm going to say that Triple G's power kept Murata pretty honest. And, you know, that left hook was really nice, you know, some body work. But then sometimes, you know, like they say, Triple G's can be a little deceiving with his style. He can make you feel like you're doing something just to reel you in. But, I mean, I was impressed with Triple G, especially for as long as he's been off fighting, you know, recovering from COVID. But let's see, man. I was impressed with Triple G. I feel like out of all the fights that happened this past weekend, I feel like that was up there with the Fondura as far as being impressed with performances. I was impressed with Triple G.
Okay, Brian, what you think?
Well, and we're talking about the Triple G fight in Murata. I thought that Murata was gonna do exactly what he was going to do. He's going to get off first. He's a volume puncher. He's a good puncher, and he's a tough guy. Triple G, I didn't know exactly, especially being in Japan, I didn't know exactly how this fight was going to go exactly because, you have Triple G, they're both coming off long layoffs. Murata hasn't fought in 2019, Triple G since 2020. So we don't, and plus Triple G's hitting the 40-year-old mark, so we don't know how good he was going to look. Competitive fight, and I thought that Murata was up by round 3 or 4, but I think the jab of Triple G is what got him the victory eventually, and what turned the tide around when he started landing that stiff jab and started landing those combinations. And of course, I believe in the 9th round that overhand right, just crushed Murata. Murata effectively went effectively through the he went effectively to the body along with landing punches to the head. But of course, Triple G caught his second win because I thought he got gas in the mid part of the fight, but he got his second win, and I think Murata kind of got worn out by the aggression and the attrition that Triple G brought, and maybe he wore himself out. And effectively, Triple G becomes the second guy to unify at his age, which is very impressive. And he's still a threat at 160. But I'm gonna tell you this much though: anybody elite like Canelo Alvarez, he has no shot against, man. Because if Murata, who was coming off a 2-year layoff, was able to land and be effective, especially to the body, he didn't like them body shots, and nobody does. But if that's Canelo Alvarez, it's a different story. If it's anyone of that level or even close to that level of Canelo, they're washing up Triple G. But I will say this though, at 160, Jaime Munguia would be a good fight. Charlo, Andrade still would be a good fight between them and Triple G.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you right now. Do I think Triple G looked good? Yes. And everyone's right. Like, he did look good. But even his supporters are saying, man, he's 40 and look at what he did. Very true. Very impressive for a 40-year-old. But now the question is he ready for, is he prepared to move up in weight at 168 and fight Saul Canelo Alvarez? Like, is he ready for that? Like, is he ready for a Saul Canelo Alvarez? Does he have a chance? Or are we, like, am I underestimating him? Because I don't think he has a shot. I don't think he could beat Canelo. I don't. I'll say it right now. Oh, how can you say that like this? He cannot beat Canelo. It ain't gonna happen. Right? I think he gets beat so bad, Canelo is gonna get credit for the win. People are gonna say, "Oh, he beat him. He made him wait. He aged him out." Mark my words. That's what people are gonna say. That's what you're gonna say. You know that's what you're gonna say, right? So like let's not pretend you're not. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Gennady Golovkin has a shot against Canelo, right? So back at you, Brian. Do you think he has a shot to beat Canelo right now, September this year?
No. I don't care. I don't care how good his training camp looks. I don't care how great of a shape he looked. And he looked like he was in solid shape in this fight.
He's got a six-pack.
Oh, yeah. He barely saw any strip of fat on
pecs. Got muscles on his pecs, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying. Like,
hey, one thing I do notice is that he looked like he's losing hair, bro.
Although he's got more lines on his face now from the old days than the actual abs, but still, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, but he does not have no chance against not against no Canelo. Nah. Not at all.
Off the ropes. George, talk to us. Does he have a shot against Canelo in your opinion?
No, he don't have a chance, man. Especially if he starts slow like that. I think Canelo will take advantage of that. Especially, Canelo's the body snatcher, man. That body, he's very vulnerable now, even more than ever. The age, And I noticed it too, Brian. That hairline, man, it's running from his forehead right now. So, yeah, no, I don't give him a chance. I mean, if he can catch a second win, it'll be interesting, but I don't think he will win. Again, the power is the last thing to go, so maybe his power will keep Canelo a little bit honest. But we've seen the second fight. Canelo was they were in each other's face, man. There was no running. They were both punching each other in the face, man. Canelo had cuts over both eyes. But I think if they in this third fight, I think Canelo's going to jump on him a little bit early, just by seeing that Triple G looks like he's slowing down and he's a slow starter. So
could it be like a Marquez Pacquiao? Because I've been seeing this comparison a lot. Could it be like a Pacquiao Marquez 3, where everybody thought Marquez was going to get destroyed? It was old. It was too small. Pacquiao was at another level. Blah 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 blah. And then the fight happened, and then like he just caught everybody by surprise. Like it was like, you know what? Yeah, I might be old, but I still got this dude's number. You know what I mean? Could it be that? Could it be that Golovkin maybe just has a style that's always going to give Canelo problems? Is that possible that we're just overlooking him?
I'm gonna say no. What do you
think, Brian? Are we overlooking the guy?
Nah. I mean, I think the analysis spot on on all ends.
Yeah, I think Canelo's going to beat the look. For Gennady Golovkin's own sake, I hope Canelo knocks him out. Because if he doesn't knock him out, he's going to take a beating for 12 rounds. That's what's going to happen.
Well, over and under, does he knock him out? That's the question. That's the biggest question.
That's going to be the best bet of the night, like the over under for sure. Like, is he going to knock him out?
I say like in 7.
Man,
I mean, if he wears his body out, I could see like between 8 and 11. If Canelo has a sustaining in a good dose of body shots, and then of course the left hook to the body, left hook to the head combination, probably around that, somewhere around there.
Right. Hey, that is some crazy stuff right there. The fight doctor says Golovkin refused to engage Alvarez in the rematch. Alvarez walks him down at their fight. Look, a lot of people don't agree with me, but I still feel Canelo clearly won the second fight. But I know it was competitive, and you could argue it for Golovkin if you want, but that's how I feel about it. A lot of Gennady Golovkin fans are convinced that there's no argument that he won. Like, okay, whatever, but that's how I feel about it. But all these years later, I don't know, man. I think Canelo's going to beat the shit out of this dude. To be honest with you, and it's the way it is. And people are asking for this fight. They're saying he deserves it because, like, they're not saying he has a chance. They're saying, oh, he earned it. He's had such a great career and he earned a payday. Like that's what they're saying. Shit like that. They're not saying, oh no, he has a shot to win. That's not what they're saying. They keep saying, oh, he might have won the first fight, he might have won the second fight, but they're not saying, no, I think he can win this fight. Is there any Gennady Golovkin fan out there like that's advocating for this fight believes he could win? All right, I want that bet. I'll bet you some money then. Let's bet some money. If you think, you know what I mean? Because all I hear is, oh, but he deserves this. Gennady Golovkin has earned this payday. Like, okay, but do you think he could win? No. But he's earned it though. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I think this fight's like 2 years too late. 2.5 years too late, 3 years too late, in my opinion.
Yeah, just like one of the comments in the right there, he should clean out 175. And we said it the other day too, D. Just, get the winner of better be Evan Smith, man. Might as well stay there.
You know what? And that's exactly, off the ropes, man, that's exactly what Canelo should just do, man. Because, like, there's not going to be no prestige. And I don't know even if his own fans is going to even want to even see him fight Triple G. I mean, and I know that they may not. Most fans are probably not going to know who Bivol or Bertabia or Beterbiev is, which most likely he's going to be the one to beat Joseph Smith Jr. But point being though, if you beat Bivol, and you know, you might as well just go after the winner and go after that undisputed, because after that, there ain't nothing. Ain't nobody can say anything about Canelo after that. It's better than fighting old man Golovkin again.
Shout out to Domi in the building. How's it going, brother? How you doing? Alex Doomsday. I think I'm mute, bro. The mute bug. Yeah, you're on mute. Oh, what happened? Man, Alex having a rough day today. You know what I mean? He's having a rough day today.
You know, StreamYard. I got Ecamm. It's a little different.
He's here for the sign language crowd. Everybody relax.
I wish I could do that. That's actually hard to do. But nah, man. Thanks, guys, for having me on. Sorry about that, man. I got into some fucking traffic, man.
That's all good, brother. First, let me ask you 2 questions. Ryan Garcia, Ryan, as I call him, or you can call him King Ryan.
You made that one?
Yeah, you can call him King Ryan if you want. You know what I mean? But
Ryan.
Talk to us about King Ryan. Talk to us about his performance. Were you impressed? Were you not impressed? Are you indifferent about it? How you feel about it?
Come on, we haven't seen him fight in a while. I wasn't expecting him to, go out there and look, spectacular against a guy who's really difficult. And difficult, what I mean is it's an awkward style, that he was facing. And again, man, like he came out aggressive like I wanted him to be. I mean, for all we know, he could have probably finished that fight if he would have been a little more composed. I think that at times he was just overly aggressive. I think that if he would have just kind of calmed down a bit and put his punches together a little bit more controlled, he would have probably put the guy away. But I don't know. What do you want me to say? Are you disappointed? I mean, I still, I think that Ryan's growing. I think that
very disappointed.
Yeah, you're disappointed. Yeah,
very. Yeah.
So what did you want? You wanted a KO?
I want a knockout.
You wanted a knockout, huh?
I wanted him to take it to the next level. You know what I mean? I wanted him to knock the dude out and make.
So what was he lacking? What was he lacking in that fight for you? What is it that made him not?
Well, look, this morning, right? I had myself a nice bowl of Cheerios. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I got my milk carton from the fridge. You know what I mean? Opened it up.
Put the dry fruit in there.
Yeah, I poured. I had some Fruit Loops. I poured the milk in there. You know what I mean? And I closed it up. And when I put it back in the fridge, I saw Ryan Garcia's jab in the back of the milk carton. So that was missing. I don't know where it's at, but I don't know where. Do you know where it's at?
I mean, he was for the most part cutting the distance between him and Tagoe with just forward pressure. I mean, at times I felt like he was just Michael Myering him throughout the whole ring. Like he didn't. Yeah. Oh man,
isn't that what he was doing the whole fight?
Yeah, I mean, he probably could have doubled it up, tripled it up.
Like, why is he doing the shoulder roll from like 6 feet away?
Yeah,
I'm just asking for a friend.
I mean, maybe he did. Like I said, I mean, look, I came in telling you that he obviously needed to put his punches together in a more controlled fashion, but I think he had fun in there. I think he was having fun. I think he was happy to be back in there, and I don't know if he was I don't know if he thought that it was gonna be that easy, for him to knock him out, being that basically a little undisciplined in the way that he was fighting at times. But at the end of the day, he took care of business. He didn't lose to Tagoe. I didn't expect him, not one bit to lose to Tagoe at all. So I knew it was like
Tagoe or is it Tagoe?
Tagoe, I'm gonna go with your Tagoe. Tagoe.
I think Tagoe has got to go. I mean, you don't think he was being a little too negative in the ring?
I mean, he was complaining at times. Obviously, Ryan got rough, bro, and I like that. I like that he was getting. There was no. Yeah, I wish I had my sandboard on right now. I don't got it.
Is Brian frozen? You there, brother?
Yeah, he looked a little frozen.
Hey, Brian, you're frozen. If you could hear me, oh, there he is. There he is.
Yeah, he's back.
Right. No, but
yeah, he was complaining at times. Obviously, he was getting manhandled by Ryan. Ryan was huge, man. He's and he's
Couldn't knock him
getting
out.
couldn't knock him out.
Couldn't
You're not
knock him
gonna
out.
knock everybody out, especially when you're not, putting things
It's not
together.
being too harsh, is what it's saying. You could be honest. I mean, it's how you feel. Like, we're being too harsh on Ryan.
I'm not saying that you are really. I mean, look, he could have been more disciplined. He could have gotten the knockout if he would have been a little more, controlled in his punches and put them together, and maybe had been setting up the knockout. But I think he went in there just to have fun. I mean, he went in there just to wail on somebody, the way I see it. So, he could he have fought better? Yeah, could have fought better than that.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. What about the chick fights? I know. Are you a supporter of women's boxing, or should I bother asking you about the women or no?
Nah, absolutely, bro.
All right. That's cool. That's cool. So, what you think about Marlene Esparza?
Marina Esparza?
Marlene and and what do you think about Superbad throwing shots at her, bro? Like Sinisa was throwing shots. Well, she's supposed to be like, you've called fights before. She's supposed to be impartial, supposed to be calling the action, but she was throwing shots. She was like, oh, we know she don't got power. She ain't boxing smart. But then again, I don't know if she has the stamina to do that anyway. Like, what you think?
So Esparza was getting at Superbad, Sinisa, huh?
No, the other way around. So Esparza was boxing that night. It was on the undercard of the Ryan fight.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that.
And Sinisa was throwing shots.
I mean, they've competed, no? They've competed against each other. I mean,
well, she already beat her. I don't even know why she's trying so hard to like.
I mean, maybe she feels like she want that get back. Maybe she feels like she's ready for that get back, bro. Listen, not for nothing. Like, we see all this beef sometimes.
That's Brian's girl, like Sinisa. You know what I mean? Like, she's stuck in all that shit, bro. Like Brian, left Marlene after Marlene got pregnant and doesn't have the body no more. That he forgot about her, and now he's over with Serrano and Sinisa. You know what I mean? He's just moving around. I'm just saying.
Hey man, they fine ass ladies, men that can fight. I gotta acknowledge it.
But what about the? Did you get to watch the mayor fight with Hann?
Yeah. I caught it. I caught it in parts.
What you think?
But yeah, Mayor, man, Mayor's fucking. She's legit, bro. She's always proven time and time again that she's always a level or two above her opponents, man. And she takes on top girls. What's next for her, right? That's what we want to know, no?
That's right.
What's next for her? And I guess we got to see what happens with Taylor and Serrano and see if that's something that's really going to manifest itself. I think women's boxing right now is really garnering a lot of attention. I think it's grown so much. There's a lot of girls right now that are getting a lot of attention. Usually it'd be maybe one or two that would really get, the limelight, but now it's like you got like 7 on stage, you know what I mean? So it's good to see that. And Mayor's one of those top girls, one of those limelights on the stage. Obviously, we got Clarissa and what's homegirl's name from London? Slips my mind right now.
From London? There's several of them from London.
Savannah Marshall.
Savannah Marshall, yo, she could punch, bro.
So that's another next big thing going on right now in women's boxing.
I mean, dare I say, she punches like a dude. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like,
bro, she fights. I mean, look, if you're gonna fight somebody like Clarissa, I mean, if you're gonna go up against Clarissa, that's the type of style I would put against Clarissa. So I'm gonna be really excited to see that fight because that length could really present a problem, I think, for Clarissa if they know how to use it. I think Savannah knows how to use it. I think she could stay at the end of those punches until Clarissa just blast through some of that shit because Clarissa's forward pressure when she really wants to get to you, she throws good combinations. So it's just it's more women's boxing to get excited about, really.
I agree, bro. 100%. I agree 100%. Before it used to be like 1 or 2, and they weren't even in the same division. It was like one's a little heavier than the other. But now, this month, I think everybody's excited for that one. Clarissa Shields, Marshall. It's good shit. It's good. I love to see the women's boxing. They get into it too, man. It's high level. I feel like women's boxing is high level. Whether people like women's boxing or not, to me it's high level. It's what you want to see. It's all action.
For sure. Now we're all gonna talk about what Barbershop said. We're gonna get there. We're already gonna transfer to that, guys. First of all, let's talk about the fight itself. Fondura, right? The towering inferno or I like to call him Mr. Fantastic. Have you guys ever seen the comics, Mr. Fantastic? Okay. Look, man, he went out there and he took everything Lubin threw at him, everything, and he even went down one time, took a knee, got back up, collected himself, overwhelmed him, volume. This is like a taller, more active version of Paul Williams, right? With a better uppercut, in my opinion. And went out there, he just overwhelmed Lubin, disfigured his face. Cunningham does the right thing, in my opinion, stops the fight. They don't even keep him around for the post-fight interview. They rush him to the hospital as a precaution. I think that was the right thing. So shout out to Cunningham. By the way, I think Cunningham gave great advice in the corner. But it doesn't seem Fulton was able to implement that. But it's easier said than done, though, when you have somebody in front of you like that, that's unrelenting, doesn't stop, keeps coming. And if there was a Michael Myers, it was definitely him, right? So he went out there and he just ended up destroying Lubin in the end. Hurt him early, by the way, too. George, what you think of that performance? What do you think it went wrong for Lubin? And what do you think's next for Fondura?
Performance, man, I would say 80% of us or even 90% of us thought Lubin was going to actually show. I mean, he did show up. We all thought he was going to win. I feel like it was going to be the experience a little bit for Lubin. Mm-hmm. And then also I went based off of Fondura's last performance against Garcia. I felt like he got hit a lot, and he showed here he got hit pretty often as well. But you got to give it to him. The kid's freaking, he's nonstop. Someone in the comments of Nephilim, that is the funniest fucking word. A good performance. Watching it live, like I said, I was watching that one and the Garcia, I forgot about it every so often, and I got stuck to my tablet watching the Fondura and Lubin. I felt like it was pretty freaking close. I know that Steve Farhood actually gave that a 10-9 with a knockdown with Fondura going down for the first time. And I agree, like, there's sometimes you wonder if when do you actually give a 10-9 and a knockdown, and that was pretty much the one. Lubin was losing that 2 minutes of that round, and then he got caught. And shit, man, Fondura. I think there's plenty. He's gonna be a nightmare for anybody. Me and my buddy, of course, offline, we're talking. He said he would like to see Tim Tszyu. I would love to see that fight too. I think, honestly, realistically, I feel like maybe Tony Harrison. They both have a common opponent. They both fought Garcia. Tony Harrison won. Fondura won. Why not make that one? And I know that it was a title eliminator for the winner, I guess, between Charlo and Castaño, and that would still be an interesting fight as well. But I would like to see him against Tony Harrison.
Well said, brother. By the way, shout out to H Money in the chat. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Remy. Doomsday's in the chat. DJ Mexicano de Tejas in the building. Super Funk Masters in the building as well. Am I pronouncing that? I don't know if I said that right. The Fight Doctor. Shout out to you guys, man. Check this out, man. Okay. I was not expecting that. I thought Lubin was able to handle him. But I thought Lubin would be ducking lower than he was. He was a little too upright for my liking. He was getting the guard up, and he was getting hit through the middle by the uppercut, and he never really made an adjustment to that. Once again, it's easier said than done, especially if you don't know what angle it's coming from. He's got such strong arms, right? But I felt he should have made an adjustment at some point. If not, he was going to lose, and that's what ended up happening. Cunningham kept telling him, yo, bend those knees, get low, and then go to the body. When he ducks low, then you come upstairs. And I think it's the right advice, but it's hard to implement it. And Fondura just didn't let him breathe. He didn't let him breathe. He kept attacking. He never gave Lubin a moment to rest. He never gave Lubin a moment to take a deep breath. Like nothing. He was just unrelenting. Over 80 punches a round. Over 80. Like this dude could reach like half the ring. Whoever boxes this dude, like he's taking up most of the ring. You gotta duck low. That's the range he doesn't have. That's the range he needs to duck low to hit you. But for whatever reason, like, and maybe it's because I think he got hurt early and he exerted too much energy recovering, that he wasn't able, like, he just didn't have enough energy to be doing the things Cunningham told him to do. Also, well, where was the end swell? There was no end swell in the corner, right? They were just putting ice in his head. I don't know what, like, I'm not saying it would have prevented anything, but
Where was the kit?
I don't know where was that. I don't know. You know what I mean? The thing's missing. I saw it in the back of the mid card along with Ryan Garcia's jab. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know where it was. But that is the problem I had with this fight. Just like, strategically, it went so wrong after that knockdown, and maybe the knockdown had everything to do with it, right? But everything just went. And credit to Lubin. I mean, he got up. A lot of people are still saying, "Oh, he's got a suspect chin." Well, he got up, right? And he kept getting hit for the rest of that fight, and he didn't get like knocked out like that. He got stopped, right? They stopped the fight, but he took a beating in there. His face was rearranged. The middle of the head right is swollen from those uppercuts down the middle. Doomy, what did you think about Avatar? Did he look like dudes from Avatar? Like fighting like a little human?
Man, yeah, remember what was the girl that fought fought Katie Taylor? Who fought the girl that I forgot, but it was an Avatar that we used. Yeah, he was man, he was look, man, I've known Erickson Lubin since the beginning. I mean, I go through my phone and see some early pictures that I took with him. I mean, when he was really young, when he was first starting off his career, and I went to visit him down there in the gym. And I saw a hell of a puncher, a southpaw, good puncher, great kid, and after that Charlo lost, there was a rebuild, right? And he came back pretty good. Maybe a little hiccup in one of those fights where he was probably hit and in trouble. And now this, this was it was tough because after he took he actually knocked down Fondura as well, and by then he was just beat up so much that for him to continue those rounds, taking more beating, and kind of bet on maybe him stopping Fondura was too much of a risk for Cunningham, man. And I think he made the right call. He made the right call. You put your fighter out there and risk more. Maybe he knocks the other guy out. But in that one round, man, when your face is that swollen, and Fondura's, man, my credit to Fondura, man. I mean, look, if you're that tall and you're able to keep that weight, I mean, genetically, he's just built for it. He looks like a praying mantis. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's literally super taller than all his opponents. And like you said, those sneaky uppercuts. Who's the other guy, man, in the lower weight classes, bro? If you know me, I get the Sawi be hitting me sometimes, and I forget.
Navarrete?
Navarrete. And you see how you know it? You see how you know that name? Because you know exactly where I'm going. It's those long ass fucking arms. Those arms that you create such leverage, and you punch from different angles when you have that advantage. Those are just God-given advantages, that you can't really get around. And you mentioned him not getting a rest. He couldn't. I mean, look, you're stepping back, trying to get away from this fucking. And I jokingly say praying mantis, but it's like, it's Fondura coming at you with some height and some long ass arms, and every time you step back thinking you're gonna get a breather, you got him on you again, and that's got to be mentally
it's exhausting
as well. So it's like he never got a chance. But when we see that when Lubin lands, he can hurt you.
I'm just waiting for Lubin to throw like shots behind the back and like you know what I mean, like under his leg, like in basketball when the bounce the ball.
I thought at times he was standing too tall. At times I think that he should have gotten lower and made Fondura crouch more.
Yes.
And Fondura likes to fall into those fights. He likes to eventually fall into these crouching down battles, where he kind of gives up some of the ground to the smaller man. And I would have liked to have seen more of that. And a punch that I always recommend to anybody if I'm coaching them is for a tall guy is the overhand. The overhand,
right?
Yeah,
And he
the
landed
overhand
it
right or
sometimes.
left. Yeah, it's a punch that can come. It could sneak up on the guy because when you're looking down at somebody, you're expecting to see punches actually coming up. The overhand takes a different curve, and it's a good punch to hit a tall guy with. But man, good call by Cunningham, bro. I mean, who threw ice at him, bro? Did we find out who threw the ice? Cunningham was ready to put some paws on somebody.
I don't know who the hell was stupid enough to do that, but
yeah, that's like the second time that something like that's happened. I think in the Charlo fight, supposedly his dad or somebody in his corner threw a chair into the crowd, into the ring after that happened. Yeah, I kind of read something
they started throwing chairs at Charlo.
What's the matter with these dudes? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
So that was somebody
from
the crowd that did that.
I think it was somebody in Lubin's entourage that was throwing chairs at.
So I think this is what you're talking about, Doomy. So I'm going to show everybody, and I think this was a good blueprint that Quintana laid down when he fought Paul Williams. Okay, now I understand that Williams is not exactly like Fondura, but he was tall. He had a lot of volume, right? Quintana was crouching in his fight. Okay, he was crouching down, right? And Quintana was a big underdog in this fight, all right? Williams was being talked about like everybody didn't want to fight him. Mayweather was scared. He could go to the Super Six. People were favoring him to be Pavlik, like just the craziest stuff, okay? And this is Quintana laying low. Look at the awkwardness. Like he would get literally on Williams, right? Putting his head like on him. Look at the awkwardness of Williams's punch right there. You know what I mean? Here's another one. Look how low he is right there. All right. Look at the angle he's at. Like he's stepping at the right angle where it makes it hard for Williams to do anything. And the one good thing that Quintana was doing was finding those angles and forcing Williams to bend those knees as well, bring him down to his level. And I never saw Lubin do that. Now, I do believe that a lot of that had to do, and maybe I'm wrong, because he got caught in that second round. He was hurt, and he exerted so much energy just recovering the next 2 rounds that he just didn't have the energy to do the things that Cunningham was telling him to do. You hear Cunningham ask him, you got your legs? He's like, yeah. Well, then do what I'm telling you. Like, well, bro, he just got knocked down. I don't know if he has his legs, though, But, Brian, what did you think about the fight, brother?
I thought the fight was very, it was surprising that the fact that Lubin would even, because I thought it was a 50-50 fight going into the fight. Now, as far as the game plan with Lubin and Kevin Cunningham, I thought that, their game plan was to pick spots, stick and move and try to use a little bit of the fact that Lubin's a lot more slicker than, a lot more quicker than, what's his name? Fondura. And the fact that he didn't even implement that game plan. It's one thing to stay in the pocket, but he stayed in the pocket all the way, and the fact that it went that way, you already knew that it was going to be Fondura's night, and Fondura beat him up pretty much all throughout some of the rounds. Now, I thought that Lubin won maybe 1 or 2 of the rounds, especially obviously the knockdown round, but it seemed like even with that knockdown, it didn't really matter because Fondura came in and he just poured on him. Like he was cracking those uppercuts and those looping shots right through the guard of Erickson Lubin. And it's just like Lubin he couldn't do nothing with it. The only thing he could do was just stand there and just take the shots, unfortunately for him. And boy, his face was beat up,
Woo.
And you talk about the elephant. You talk about the elephant man. That's exactly what he looked like. But I overall though, I think just the fact that that Fondura showed what he can do against an opponent like Lubin, I think he's a threat to everybody, including the guys that are fighting for Undisputed, Charlo and Castaño. I think this shows a lot of what Fondura, because I had questions of how good is Fondura, especially after his last fight, but he's a real deal.
Yeah, I had a lot of questions about Fondura as well. I just felt like, man, how can a guy that tall be coordinated like that? And he didn't look that good in his last fight. Like he just didn't. And then he just he looked better in this fight against a better opponent. So maybe he's just one of those guys that just rises to the occasion, and there's guys like that. They just, they just rise to the occasion. They fight better when they fight better opposition, and they fight to the level of their opposition, so he knew he was in there with a good fighter this time, and he just went out there and did his thing, so, hey, you know what I mean? So look, we're going to the next thing here. I do have a poll up, okay? And the poll reads, okay.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, I just seen what was this thing about weighted glove?
Well, we're about to go there. You know what I mean? We're gonna.
Okay, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, you got to tell me more, bro, because I didn't.
We're gonna do our version of what live reactions right now. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Whoa. You know what I mean? Yeah, brother. We're gonna go there right now. This is, of course, Brian's favorite channel. You know what I mean? Brian's like, hey, don't lie on my name right now. Do it right now. But we're going to listen to it, and we're just going to give an objective response to it, right? This is what he said, is this content he put out. And not only that, man, this started like a little bit of a storm a little bit. Like I'm seeing people saying this on Twitter now. They're questioning it. And just people going around saying, I don't know, maybe he did. I don't know, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. It's kind of like a dangerous thing. You know what I mean? In my opinion. And so I want to go ahead and touch on this a little bit, so this is from Barbershop Conversations, Fred. So what he said, so we're going to analyze it, so I'll pause it here and there and go from there, but let's see what it says. Hold on.
Friends outside. And the mice come out and play when the lights go out, man. And I just believe something is weird. Something is really, really weird about two things. Fondura didn't take his gloves off after the fight, after the post-fight press conference, because as a fighter, the first thing you want to do is take those gloves off. They're so small. He's in 10-ounce glove, and he's an abnormal 154-pound guy. And I just question everything. I'm not the guy that just cuts on CNN, that cuts on ESPN and Fox and says, oh, I believe you. That's not really what I am. I have access to Google. I have access to prior information where I can put.
Oh, he has access to Google, everybody. Whoa, watch out. You know what I mean? He's a private investigator, Fred, out here. But here's the thing, though. I just want to say this before I continue playing it. What does him being an abnormal 154-pounder have anything to do with the allegation?
Nothing.
Well, what? He's just throwing that out there, oh, he's abnormal. He's trying to sell the abnormalness of the fight by just randomly pointing out, he's an abnormal 154-pounder. I just don't. I'm trying to understand, what does that mean? What does that have to do with anything? But anyway, okay, cool. All right, let's listen to the rest.
Together and make a great hypothesis. And my spider sense, my common sense, my pragmatic sense tells me something is fishy about this. And Lubin's face looked very abnormal. He's never looked like that. Fondura's never done that to nobody. I'm very interested in an Erickson Lubin interview. Maybe we'll get it in a month or so once the swelling goes down. Because I want to know what those punches felt like. I want to know what it felt like being in the ring with him. And if you fight Fondura, two things you must ask for: drug testing and a bigger ring. Because people say it was hard because as the fight go on, your legs gets weary. And when your leg get weary, you got to pick spots to fight. And when you got to pick spots to fight and the guy can cover so much ground, it's really nowhere to go.
So again, I don't know what does his height and size and the ring size and drug testing have to do with an allegation of loaded gloves? create doubt, seeds of doubt. He's a tall dude. If I'm a tall dude, I'm kind of like I would be like, yo, well, what's wrong with being tall? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? I can't be tall. Like, what does that mean? Are tall people liars or what?
Well, my thing is like
the ring size. Hey Brian, what is the ring size? No drug testing. What does that? Any of that have to do with the allegation that he had loaded gloves?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, what is he trying? What is he trying to get at with that? I mean, if you want to, if you that doesn't like his size, ring size, or what his gloves look like has nothing to do with that. Now, if you want to sit up here and say, well, they should have did some kind of testing on what substance he took, maybe that's the reason why he's so tall and he can fight at 150. If you want to go with that angle, you have a better angle.
That's like me saying. That's like me saying.
He can't be taking anything possibly.
but it's like me saying, Brian, boxing historian, TBH 206, he robbed a bank. Okay? You know how I know that? I saw him eat at McDonald's the other day. You know what I mean? I saw him go to the boxing gym at 10 p.m. Who does that?
Come on, man.
Yeah, but so it's so far. Any reaction so far?
No. I mean, you asking me? I can't even. I don't even understand.
Because I'm waiting. Okay, accusation, loaded gloves,
bro. I'm waiting for you to tell me something. Okay, let's go back to Glovegate, right? Tyson Fury. We had a floppy glove. We had a funny looking glove. Gave us something to argue about, right? What is? I'm waiting for the loaded glove.
He's bringing up ring size. He's bringing up the fact that you got to. He's giving us every reason why, like something else that could explain it, other than a loaded glove, right?
Listen, I didn't listen to the audio, but was he serious when he said?
He's being serious right now, and not only that, but he's accusing him of shooting a gun, but giving us evidence that he might have used a knife. Like, is that making sense, right? It's so he's saying it's loaded gloves. But he fought him in too small of a ring. Okay, what does that have to do with anything? If anything, that shows you why he was getting hit a lot, because maybe Lubin needed a bigger ring.
But
right?
You know what? You know what, D man? That all falls into the negotiation of fights. Like, your team.
He's got explanations for all that. He's got.
It's not like they snuck the small ring on him. Like, if
but Dumi, what does that have to do with?
With the loaded gloves, absolutely nothing.
It has nothing to do with it. It's just a negative, like he's abnormally large.
No. That's just like you said, planning.
Pause. But like I'm just saying, watch out. Fondura's gonna take your girl. Like, you know what I mean? Because they keep calling him abnormally large. You know what I mean? And then like he's abnormally large. Ooh, this ring is too small. Ooh, no drug testing. Like just seeds of doubt being placed on people's heads. Nothing to do with the gloves. But let's listen to more.
But at the end of the day, it's fight of the year thus far, as we predicted in the barbershop, as I predicted in the barbershop that it would be. It's definitely fight of the year thus far. And
you see? I was right that this will be a fight of the year, so you should listen to what I'm saying. That's why he's saying that. Like, I'm just saying.
I question Fondura. I'm really questioning Fondura, and I'm just gonna sit back and let things play out. We may never know, but by the looks of Lubin, Timothy Bradley said you're never the same. Every time you walk in that ring, you leave something in there. Erickson Lubin definitely left something in that ring last night. And I thought it was a good stoppage. Get well, Lubin. And we got to start questioning everything. There was no drug testing for this fight. Do you guys understand that in a title eliminator for the WBC? There was no drug testing on a major network. High earning fighters big platform, big promotion, no drug testing, dog. Put that in. No drug testing. None. Zero. Zilch. Barbershop conversations, man. I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all go ahead and believe what.
So that's I'll play another portion a little bit, but George, what do you think? I mean, are you convinced? Did he present a case for you?
The only thing that he said true was, yeah, Lubin, you know, did leave something in the ring, and it was a good stoppage. That's about the only thing I agree with there. I mean, come on, like conspiracies, especially in boxing. I mean, I don't know, man. I just present to me some more evidence other than trying to assume there was no drug testing, the ring size and shit like that. But the only thing he said truthful was what happened to Lubin, that the fight was stopped when it should have stopped. I mean, I don't know, man. It is funny. Like I want to hear, so I guess I want to see more. I just want to see more what the hell this guy has to say.
Well, if they do me, are you convinced? I mean, it sounded like it was more of he might have been juicing argument than he had loaded gloves argument. But what do you think?
I don't know about the juicing part either. Isn't it like, I mean, it wasn't a champion. I mean, are you going to get drug testing for every fight? You know, are you going to, I know championship fights for sure, right? But I don't know if, you know, this was like a mandatory, you should have drug tested him or whatnot. I mean, look, Fondura, for his height, he makes that weight, you know, he just makes that weight. I think, I don't think there's anybody taking anything. I don't think Fondura was on anything. The loaded glove part is really what interested me more, and I still haven't gotten a real clear picture of what
right. It's just like
giving him that because it's interesting. I want to know why you would think those. Truthfully, if you really, you know, in the audio or whatever, wherever he said it, if he said it and he really meant it, like those gloves were loaded, like why would you say something like that? Because no, those are pretty big claims. I mean, you don't. You know, you're playing around in the sport, not playing, you don't play boxing, I guess, but you're playing around with something that's very serious because, you know, you tell a man that he had loaded gloves, you know, you're trying to kill me. I mean, there's so many examples I could go back in boxing history. Obviously, I don't need to, you know, start calling them out. And that's something that you would have to explain, like, bro, you know, you're a boxing analyst and you cover the sport. So, you know, and you know, a lot of people do take you seriously. So when things are said like that, you got to have a clear explanation of why you think that, and, you know, have a really good ground on why you think that, because you know, you could kill somebody in the ring.
So far, we have 60 votes. Is there signs from their cheated, like Barbershop said, and 87% say no. Brian Moore, I never seen a fighter not remove his gloves directly after a fight ended. 99% of fighters can't wait to get those gloves off. Something is fishy, he said. There's
a lot of times where fighters they don't have the time, you know, because when you know, you first of all, you got only put a certain amount of time on TV, you know, and everything's being rushed fast, you know, because sometimes fights longer than others or whatnot. I can make a billion excuses on why that can happen, where a fighter hasn't had the time to take his gloves off on camera. I'm pretty sure he doesn't go to the locker room and then go home and still has his gloves on. You know, at one point he's taking them off, and, you know, the doctors come check you out. There's still eyes on you. It's just more, I think, just just shade kind of, you know, being thrown. Did you guys see the Murata Triple G fight? Did you talk about that yet? Yeah, no, I was late.
Yeah, you could touch on it really quick if you want. Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah. So didn't Triple G able to take his gloves off on camera in the ring? I don't think so.
Oh, he didn't take because those are things I never pay attention to. Like, nobody's like sitting there like, is he gonna take off his gloves?
Yeah, but then, you know, like, yeah, because, like, you know, you want to listen. You want to know why Lubin's face looked like that. You know, it's sort of like when Margarito had his, you know, casted hands, and you saw my man Cotto looking crazy, you know, family crying. It was crazy. His face was all busted. It's not, you know, it's a crazy look, you know, and you want to know, you know, you want to know if something like that's being done when you see a guy like Lubin that, you know, you seen him in, for the most part, he's the tough guy, you know, he's the guy beating the other guys up, and you start to see him swell like that. he literally was getting bashed up, and it was just he couldn't get around those punches, man. Like, he was gonna keep taking them, and maybe he would have got lucky, maybe he wouldn't have. But I think again, I'll stand on Cunningham making the right move.
Okay. All right. Hey, Brian, well, how are you feeling about all this, brother? Are you convinced by the arguments that Barbershop made?
Man, first off, barbershop conversations are someone in the comment section called him Fred Flintstone. You know, look. So it has nothing to do with the fact that the dude, you know, is just a big 6'6", heavy-handed, big bone individual at a weight class that he shouldn't, you know, naturally you don't see guys in. Maybe it's not because that he's just a big guy for that weight class and he's able to make that weight at that weight class and he's able to, you know, Lubin was taking heavy amounts of punches, you know, consecutively. It's not because of that, but it's because of some, you know, something. I mean, look, yeah, is there a problem with boxing with guys cheating? Yeah, of course. But there's nothing substantial that was said within that whole, 2 minutes or a minute and a half of him trying to make a case for what he believes to be a guy taking steroids or taking substance, you know, taking a performance enhancing drug. There was nothing that he said that made any kind of sense, or there was nothing that he said that would even remotely make me believe or make me even think that the dude was on something based off of that alone, based off of a statement. You know, like it's silly, man.
Yeah, the whole thing. Sure. By the way, guys, hit my like button. And Brian Moore, I just disagree. I mean, I don't think there's enough there. You know what I mean? But hey, let's listen to a little bit more. I'll play a little bit more, and then we'll go from there.
So, man, that wasn't an Eric Lubin fight that I was used to seeing. If he'd have fought him like he fought Rosario, boxed, came in a little bit, did some walking, try that Mexican shit. You ain't got to do that. Just outbox the guy.
Hold that thought. Sean says if glove. Wait a second, Max. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
Wait, so he said he took one glove off and left the other one on? That's glove gate number 2 all over again. This nigga Frank, and that's right the damn.
No, it's not that I'm starting it, but I mean I have the right to ask questions.
Yeah.
Because if something is out of order, then you have a right to question it. If you pick up your child every day at 2:30 for 2 years and you show up at 3:15 one day, something happened. What happened, Dad? No drug testing, and he wouldn't. And he's doing a Showtime interview with the glove on. Nobody does interviews with gloves on TV because the commission's job is to, as soon as the fight is over, take the gloves. That's their first job. That's their job. Take the gloves. Give me the other one. You know, that's what we see on camera. And we didn't see that. And that's weird to me. You know, like I'm telling you, as soon as the fight is over, they do that. And I've never seen on TV, I don't think I've seen a fighter. It's going to be years before we see that again on a major network in a major city on a major platform.
All right,
fighters.
Look, I don't want to play too much. It's whatever, but you guys get the gist of it, right? He didn't take the gloves off. Brian, what are you thinking, brother? What's on your mind?
Oh man, this dude, man. I'm like I said, man. Fred lives in his own little world, man. I'm telling you. I mean, hey, but it's
true. Like they never wear gloves. I could think of plenty of fighters already on the top of my head that still have the gloves on during interviews. But that aside, you never seen it. Have you ever seen a fighter get an interview with gloves on?
Yeah, I've seen it at least a couple times before. I mean, normally
Why say that with such confidence? Like I never seen that ever. It never happens.
You see it in boxing, MMA too. Happens sometimes. You know, you couldn't get gloves off, or one of the gloves.
Or one of them, yeah.
Yeah, and the referee's bringing, if they can get one off, the other one's not going to come off, and the referee grabbing his arm so he can announce the winner and whatnot. That's happened before multiple times, man. Like, it doesn't happen often, not often, but come on, man. I don't know what the agenda Fred's trying to push, but he's failing right now, to say the least.
It all started when a dumb ass need another dumb ass and need another dumb ass.
Yo, George, what do you think? Are you convinced by the argument? He still had a glove on.
I am not convinced.
Well, why does he have a glove on?
I mean, let's say he goes right into his dressing room with both gloves on. I mean, like you just said, Doomy, aren't they going to follow him in there? Is he going to take a shit with his gloves on?
Yeah.
They're going to wait for him to take his gloves off. And if they're, I don't know, man.
Is the commission ones? I mean, look, I don't know for sure. Isn't the commission responsible for cutting them, or, cutting the wraps off, or like, I don't know that process. Maybe we got to look into it, but I go back again, like many of us have seen it, the guys with the gloves still on or one glove on, and I don't know. It looks like, look, in all fairness, I'm not trying to be the devil's advocate per se, but like, you do have the right, to question certain things if they don't happen. But
right,
I think he was overpainting that a little bit too much. He went Bob Ross on it.
Look, it is true, right, that fighters, obviously, after a long fight, they want to take off their gloves, right, for the most part. But if we go to the most controversial scenario, so for example, if Resto would have taken those gloves off right away, like the way he's saying, right? Like, take them off, right? He would have never gotten caught. Collins' dad doesn't shake his hand and feel that there's no padding and it had shock in there instead of, horsehair. You know what I mean? It doesn't discover the fact that this dude's gloves are loaded. Okay, that's number one. Like if he takes the gloves off by Fred's logic, they never catch Resto, right? Margarito. No, we've already talked about this to death on my channel, but regardless of what you believe, he took off the gloves right away after the Cotto fight, and he was accused of having, the plaster of Paris. So why did he take off the gloves right away if that's what you do when you cheat? Like, he's got the whole thing wrong. Like, the commission's literally there waiting for you to give him the gloves, waiting for you to give him the hand wraps. It doesn't matter if you wear them during the press conference. Like, well, what is he doing? Like, during the interview, I'm sorry. During the interview, is he, like, hiding the bricks or what? Like they're hiding in plain sight or something? Is that what it is in front of the world? Can somebody explain this to me?
Science is out of this world.
This is disgusting behavior, in my opinion. This is what you call being a sore loser. This is what you call not being able to accept fucking defeat. That's what you call this. Okay? For whatever reason, Fred is triggered, okay, that maybe the guy he thought would win didn't win. Or whatever it is. And I like something you said earlier, Alex, that the genetics of Fondura, like being so tall like that, give him all these advantages. Those are the genetic advantages he fucking has. Okay? like okay, he's too long. It doesn't mean he should move up and wait. We don't tell guys, hey, you're too fast. Move down and wait. Hey, you punch too hard. That's it. That's an unfair advantage. Hey, your reflexes are too good. Like, you should, I think that's an unfair advantage. Like, we never say it about those attributes, right? If a guy has long arms and he has crazy stamina and he could throw 80 punches around and not get tired, if a guy has an iron chin, if those are the advantages he has, and those are the advantages he fucking has. And we have too many whiny babies out here complaining about it. You got no proof. Your proof is Lubin's face was fucked up. That's your proof. Your proof about loaded gloves is about the, no drug testing. What that means, like, Lubin could have been on something. How do you know Lubin wasn't on some shit? like the dudes that, most times, a lot of times when guys get caught, they lost. Vargas lost that fight against De La Hoya when he got caught. Right? Mosey arguably lost that De La Hoya fight. He got the decision. You know, when it was later discovered, it was probably on the cream or whatever. Okay? It doesn't. You don't have to win to prove you were on something. Like if there was no drug testing, that means both Lubin and Fondura agreed to it. That means either one of them could have been on some shit. That's just the truth. You got to call it both ways. Maybe Fondura's shit was better than his shit, or maybe none of them were on any shit. Who fucking knows? But I can't accuse Doomy of breaking into my car, okay, and saying, well, you know, he's wearing a black shirt. I mean, in the novelas, the black guys wear, they wear the black shirts.
You know what I think it is, because I think he has a preference towards Lubin, because I think he's I think him and I don't know, I think they're pretty tight from what I remember being told. So that's probably the reason why he's batting for this, coming at Fondura in defense of why Lubin lost. That's probably why.
They called him on a cell phone, told him to hide the loaded gloves. They called him on a cell phone. Look, all I know, guys, this is all I know, okay? All I know is that we can't just start normalizing this. We saw with Fury Wilder, it's like it became this normal thing to just, hey, the guy I wanted to see win or that I prefer didn't win, so I'm just going to just start being a sore loser and just start accusing other guys, right? Because Shea lost to Tim Tszyu. I saw some dudes on here call Gachet a sellout. Like I'm like what? Like, because he didn't beat Tim Tszyu? Like, that's crazy. All right? Then we can't just start throwing this shit around. This is crazy. Fondura won the fight. Guess what happens when you get punched in the face over and over again? Your face gets swelled up. Okay? That's what happens. It's not that crazy. It's not. So now when a guy's face gets swelled up, it's controversial. He must have something on his gloves. I'm just saying. All right, guys. So boxing the store and give us some final words, brother.
Hey, yeah, shout out to the HCP and appreciate you having me on, D-Style. Alex Doomsday Lanez, first time seeing you, man. Hey, great takes. Off the ropes, man. Great takes, man. As always. And hey, one thing we learned today is you don't go with narratives. Don't go with guys getting in their emotional ass feelings about their favorite fighters losing and whatnot. And hey, oh yeah, by the way, Sinicia Serrano is fine as hell, bro.
Another thing Fred said was while I was listening to some of his takes was he doesn't care what the protocol is. He doesn't care what if Cunningham was in the back watching the wraps or the gloves get put on. He doesn't care. He said cheaters know how to cheat and they know how to get away with it, he said. So he's guilty in your mind no matter what. You don't need evidence in that case. You could just say he's a cheater and that's it. Right? Shit's crazy. You know what I mean? Yes, he's tall, but he's a toothpick. Okay? I'm just saying. Alex, any final words, brother?
Man, final words, bro. Triple G, we're gonna get the Canelo fight, man. Some feel like it's gonna be an assassination. Maybe those that still think, maybe Triple G can maybe hurt him, man. And I don't know. We're getting it. So I'm happy about that. Fondura, no loaded gloves. I think that he's just, a unique physical specimen that takes full advantage of everything he, was naturally gifted. Lubin, man, hell of a warrior. Tevin Farmer, at the beginning of his start, he lost a couple times and he came back, became a champion and, still doing his thing. So, just one of the few examples that, just your losses, you could come back. It's how you come back from them. So I expect Lubin to come back and do his thing. And women's boxing, bro. I'm excited to see what the future holds for it. We're going to get some good fights this year. April itself is full of fights. There's so much going on this month. So I'm going to be excited, probably maybe join you here on the Hispanics Causing Panic Roundtable. And we'll be talking about, some pretty good fights this month. So again, thanks for having me on, D. And fellas, Georgie, off the ropes, champ, TBH 206. Let's go, champy. Yeah, man. Good night, fellas, man.
There you go. George, talk to us, brother. Any final words? Are you convinced? Did he present a case for you? Are you convinced that Fondura should be in prison right now? Pretty much.
No, absolutely not, man. I mean, Fondura, Doomy just said he's an Anunnaki. I mean, there's so much for Fondura. He's going to be a nightmare for anybody. I'm excited to see what the future holds for him. I could see him giving Charles some problems, even the winner, even Castaño, anybody. But Triple G, we got that fight. I think it pretty much played out the way I think most of us thought. A little shaky at first, and then adjusted, caught second win, got his win. In the 9th round, I didn't pick the round, but I did say late stoppage on the show. Meyer, I think she's waiting to see what happens with her and Bumgarner. I mean, what happens with Bumgarner here at the end of the month. So I know they've been going back and forth at each other on Twitter, Instagram, so any social media platforms. And it's cool to see Doomy. I mean, I've seen him, where he came from. I know the boxing voice. Don't bring it up, but it's cool because when I would work, I would have you in my headphones. So to see the face now, and,
it's still in the back of his avatar. It's his fault. You know what I mean? Look at this. Back of the avatar. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But hey, look, guys, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Because boxing is so fucking busy, which is a good thing, right? It's a problem, but a good problem. Right, that we got so much counter programming, but boxing is doing good right now. It's in a good place. I'm gonna be doing these aftermath shows on Mondays, so make sure you guys tune in. Shout out to everybody, okay? And yeah, man, y'all stop being weird out there, man, making weird excuses for shit. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So this is D-Style Boxing. By the way, the link is in the chat, guys. Cats the Shoe Shine. Okay, they'll be on about 25 minutes or so, 25 minutes or 30 minutes or so. Make sure you catch them. That's 408 with Drew Evil. Make sure check out their show. They have a call-in line. You guys can call in and all that, man. I know I'll be tuning in, so make sure you guys tune in. HCP Network. If you haven't already, check out Mano a Mano with Maestro, with Kenny T. Right? They did a show. They're back. They had a great conversation about vegans. You know what I mean? And Canelo's he's a vegan now. Yeah. So shout out to Canelo. He's not eating that meat no more. You know what I mean? He's pause. He's doing he's concentrating on doing his thing. Al Chile will be on Wednesday. So will Kenny T. So will Women Crushing It Wednesday. I'm gonna see if Power Punch will be on or not that day. Tomorrow is the HCP podcast with myself and Nancy. So make sure you all tune in for that. See you guys next week. This is D-Style Boxing. Catch it. Shoe Shine. Go to that link, and I'll see you guys there in about 30, 40 minutes. Peace out, guys.